I'm 86 and here are 5 reasons I regret moving into a nursing home. What you should know before deciding. By Eleanor Jenkins. I'm 86 years old, and a few years ago, I made what everyone around me said was the smart move. My doctor recommended it. My daughter gently encouraged it. Friends told me I'd be safer, better cared for. So I moved into a nursing home. I thought I was being reasonable, responsible, cautious. What I didn't expect was how deeply I'd come to regret it. This isn't about horror stories or neglect. My room is clean. The staff is mostly kind. There's food and heat and medicine. But what no one told me and what I'm now desperate to say out loud is what you lose when you move in. Not just your home or your schedule, but pieces of your identity. Quietly. Slowly. Sometimes without you realizing until it's too late. I'm sharing my story because I want to be honest. For anyone in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who's thinking about this step or who has a parent facing the decision, please read this. You deserve to make that choice with your eyes fully open. Let me tell you the 5 things I never saw coming. Regret number 1, I lost control over my daily life. This was the first punch in the gut. You don't realize how many tiny freedoms you take for granted until they're gone. At home, I used to get up whenever I felt like it. I loved slow mornings. I'd make toast around 10, sit by the window, drink my tea while watching the birds in the backyard. Sometimes I'd stay in pajamas until noon. Other days, I'd head out to the community garden just after breakfast. My time was mine. Here, that vanished instantly. On day 1, I was woken at 6:15 a.m. for vitals. Breakfast came at 7:00 lukewarm oatmeal, a banana I didn't want, and weak coffee in a plastic cup. When I asked if I could have breakfast later, the nurse smiled and said, "Sorry, that's the routine. That's how it starts. You stop asking." Shower days are scheduled. Outfits get chosen by aides. Meals are pre-decided. You can request changes, but after enough eye rolls and sighs, you just stop. It's not that they're cruel. It's that the system doesn't have room for individuality. The goal is efficiency. You're a task on a clipboard. When you stop controlling your daily life, you stop feeling like yourself. Regret number 2, I became invisible. This is harder to explain, but maybe more painful. When I lived alone, I had a presence. My neighbor Elaine would knock on Sundays to borrow sugar or just chat. My granddaughter would FaceTime me from college. I was part of people's lives. I mattered. Now, I'm room 218. Staff refer to me that way when they pass charts. 218 needs a bed change. Did 218 take her meds? Even when they smile and say Eleanor, there's a tone. Like it's a role, not a name. I'm not being dramatic, there's a quiet erasure that happens here. Conversations become transactional. Are you done with your tray? Time for your pills. Ready for bed? There are bright moments, sure. One aide braids my hair every Friday and we laugh together. But most days, the human warmth is on a timer. And my family? They love me. But visits have dwindled. My daughter comes every other week. My son flies in once every few months. I understand they're busy. But the calls get shorter. The texts rarer. They think, Mom is safe, so she's fine. But safe isn't the same as seen. And the loneliness here? It's silent, polite, and crushing. Regret number 3, my health didn't improve. It got worse. People assume nursing homes make you healthier. More rest. more support, regular medication. That's not the full picture. At home, I had to move. Water the plants. Vacuum. Climb stairs. Even just reaching for a pan kept me mobile. Here, everything is brought to you. Need water? Press a button. Want food? It comes on a tray. You think it's luxury at first. Then you realize you're not moving. My legs got weaker. My back ached. I used to walk without help. Now I need a walker just to get to the bathroom. And the food? It's not nourishing, it's mass-produced. Carbs, carbs, and more carbs. Few fresh vegetables. Bland. Oversalted. And you can't cook your own meals or request your favorite soup unless someone goes out of their way to advocate for you. Most of us don't. My mind also dulled. I used to do crossword puzzles every morning. I haven't finished one in months. There's just less stimulation, fewer real conversations, no new challenges. I'm stable, the doctor says. But that really means slowly fading. Regret number 4, I let fear make the decision. This is the regret that haunts me. I didn't move here because I wanted to. I moved here because I was scared. Scared of falling. Of being found on the floor alone. Scared of being a burden. Scared of becoming that old lady who needed help for everything. So when my daughter gently suggested the nursing home, I didn't push back. I thought, she's right. Better to be safe than sorry. What I didn't ask was, what other options do I have? Could we have brought in a home health aide? Could I have moved into a senior apartment with support nearby? Could we have rearranged the house? I didn't ask. I just gave in to fear. And once you're in, it's almost impossible to go back. The lease on my apartment was up. My cat went to live with my niece. My furniture was donated. My garden? Left to die. I didn't realize how permanent this would feel until I tried to imagine going home and realized there was no home left to return to. Regret number 5, I thought it would be temporary. It wasn't. I told myself this would be short-term. 3 months, maybe 6. Long enough to regain strength. Long enough to get back on my feet. That was 5 years ago. No one tells you how hard it is to reverse course once you're here. You get used to being helped. You lose the habits that made you independent. And your family starts planning around you staying here. You become part of the institution. A fixture. You forget how to navigate the outside world. When I mentioned moving out, the social worker smiled sadly and said, "Most don't." And that broke me a little. Not because I'm trapped. But because it never felt like a choice. It felt like a slide I didn't realize I was on until I hit the bottom. Closing thoughts, what I wish someone had told me. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to warn you. I'm not saying nursing homes are bad. Some people genuinely need them, people with complex medical needs, people without family, people at real risk. But if you still have options, explore them. If you can still cook, walk, decide when to sleep, fight to keep those things. You don't have to surrender your life out of fear. There are alternatives: shared housing, in-home care, community living setups, even living with a friend. Ask the questions no one asked me. What kind of life do I want to live? How much independence do I need to feel like myself? What support could I accept without giving up who I am? And to adult children reading this, your parents aren't just fragile beings to protect. They're whole people with pride, preferences, and personalities. Don't rush to fix them. Help them live on their own terms. If this story moved you, if it made you pause or question or think deeper, good. Talk to your family. Revisit your plans. Share this with someone who might be quietly struggling with the same decision. You only get one life. Even at 86, it's still yours. Don't give it away too easily.